That's Tongue and Talk, keeping languages alive in Africa from the BBC World Service, straight after the latest headlines.
With the BBC News, I'm Roisin Hasty. Elon Musk says he'll launch an attack on government spending in his new role in the Trump administration. He'll head a nominal department for government efficiency, which will be more of an advisory body. India's top court has ruled that properties of individuals cannot be demolished by the authorities just because they're accused or convicted of a crime. Rights groups say so-called bulldozer justice often targets Muslims. The US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has called for real and extended pauses in fighting in Gaza so humanitarian aid can reach people who need it. Mr. Blinken added Israel had accomplished the goals it set itself and the war should now end. Israeli military has been carrying out several airstrikes in the southern suburbs of Beirut for the second day in a row after issuing evacuation warnings. Huge plumes of black smoke rose over the neighbourhood after the strikes. Rescuers in Spain have found the bodies of 2 children who were swept away from their father in the severe flood of 2 weeks ago. Their father survived by clinging to a tree. The medical charity MSF has condemned the murder of 2 people being transported to a hospital in the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince. MSF said the attackers forced the victims out of the ambulance and killed them. Workers in the Chinese city of Zhuhai have removed a makeshift memorial to those killed in a deadly car ramming attack in the city on Monday. At least 35 people were killed. A thick blanket of toxic smog has engulfed the Indian capital, Delhi. Experts say conditions are likely to get worse in the coming days. Multiple airlines have cancelled flights to and from the Indonesian island of Bali after nearby volcanic activity posed a danger to aircraft. There's been multiple eruptions from Mount Lewatobi, Laki in recent weeks, sending ash into the sky. BBC News.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you stressed out, tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for star, R for radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medase.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agent, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie, and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is UK. Starr Radio UK. This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Oh yes, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Starr Radio UK Wednesday edition of the morning show. Today is Wednesday, the 13th day of November, the year 2024, with the time now exactly at 10:48. This is Starr Radio UK, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Yes, let me say good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, and then to my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi, and to our presenters on Starr Radio UK, the team behind the scenes who pull all the plugs to make sure everything works and pans out well. Massive good morning to you all. And let me also say good morning to Anthony Adedeji Aziz, good morning. Felix, good morning. Shamsuddin, good morning. Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, good morning to you. Bishop Adesina, good morning, and to your team, your colleagues at the RBS office in Lagos, Nigeria, massive good morning to you all. Sassino, all the way in Moscow, massive good morning to you. And let me put it this way, all protocol observed, wherever you are, massive good morning. Delta, good morning, that's my sister in Ghana, and to my sister-in-law, Rosita Gail Hammond, massive good morning to you. I hope you are all doing very, very well this morning. Well, by what program outline? Well, I'm going to bring you the quotes for the day, the weather forecast to follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as Global Trot. And at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Moiki joining in to bring you updates from Nigeria. There are a few stories that is put across this morning, and I wanted to join in as well. Then after which we'll look at some of the other stories making the rounds across the globe. At 11:45, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. Then at 12 o'clock, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the first part of the program, where we'll be going to the House of Parliament for the Prime Minister's question time. Okay, so there's a lot more going to be coming your way, so prepare your hearts and yourself. And let me say good morning to Ajani Ajala and Ecos Family TV, all of you at Equals Family TV, massive good morning to you, and thank you for the wonderful weather you are doing there as well. Let me say good morning to Simon Ekpa, all the way. That's the Prime Minister of the Igbos, right? Okay. Well, we'll be following him. I know that Yomi is trying to arrange some few interviews there. We'll try to see whether we can get him, because we know that come the 2nd of December, he's saying that they are declaring. But would that declaration mean anything at all? Declaration doesn't necessarily mean that you've got your freedom or you are an independent state. What do you think? Lots more going to be coming your way from there. But now, let's look at the quote for the day. It says, success starts in the mind. Now, if you want to be successful in any area, train your mind to look beyond obstacles, disappointments, setbacks, and even failures. So it's all here, right? Good. All right then. Now moving on straight to the weather front this morning. And what have I got for you when it comes to the weather? Okay, yes. My apologies there. The weather for London and the southeastern part of England this morning or today, we're going to be seeing dry and partly cloudy day. The most part in the late afternoon and evening, skies look to become mostly clear for a time. Gentle winds are spread. Tonight will turn largely cloudy with a chance of some patchy light rain through the second part of the night, but it should turn dry again by dawn. Temperature is going to be 12 degrees and the lowest 6 degrees. UV level low, pollution low. Sunset 16:13 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:16 hours. And that is the end of the weather forecast. Let's move on straight to the travels as well. Okay, let me say good morning to Juliet Makifela. Wherever you are, good morning to you. Now let's go on the travels. Keep your eyes on the roads. As you keep navigated, I promise I'll born on the travels this morning. Now, all the underground lines are running a good service. The DLR, London Tramlink, and London Overground, good service. On the major roads in London, there are no exceptional delays there. So yes, on the A roads. On the river bus, good service throughout. On the London cable car, good service there. Moving on straight to the National Rail. And on the National Rail, a few incidents here and there. Just bear with me once I bring that your way. But keep your eyes on the roads as we keep you navigated. Avanti West Coast Cross Country, East Midlands Railway, Grand Central, Hull Trains, Island Line, London North Eastern Railway, Limo are all offering special services, and also Northern Rail, ScotRail, Southwestern Railway, Transport for Wales also offering special services. So please check before you leave so you don't miss your appointments there. Give yourself ample time to do so. All right then, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be going global trotting, but that will be after this. And social. Just bear with us.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy. JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Okay, welcome back to the Starr Radio UK morning show. All right then. Okay. Let me say a special happy birthday to Mama Evelyn Delaney, one of the mamas in the church. I salute you, Mama Evelyn. I hope you are doing very, very well as well. Starr Radio UK. Now on the from the updates from Nigeria that we're going to be looking at, households express pessimism, expect further rise in cost of living, says the CBN. That's what the CBN is saying. Say expect that. And then over 1,500 Nigerians have been killed in October alone in 861 incidents of kidnapping attacks. That's what the report is saying. That the federal government in October through the OHCSF initiated the process of selecting new permanent secretaries to fill vacancies in 8 states. Now, policemen in Nigeria's capital reportedly shot man 21 who tried escaping extortion after the officer accused him of being a Yahoo boy. Okay, now every Nigerian owes 619,501 naira. Do you feel that your economy is like that? With everything that you own, do you think you own like that? Now, ex-governor Agbera Shola is warning of possible revolution in Nigeria. Now we have the military high command that has said that, well, we give you our word that there's not going to be anything of that sort. But so where is the revolution going to be coming from? We have someone who is saying that come the 2nd of December, they are doing a declaration for the Igbos. Okay, now what? And then we have that of the Yoruba nation as well. Well, let me say good morning to Professor and Dr. Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. Those are the leaders there and all the team that works around them. I mean, they're also looking at the fact that they think they are being marginalized and they think it's about a matter of time where they need to just leave. Now, with all those things, what kind of revolution is he talking about there, the ex governor talking about there? Let me say good morning to Rosie and Delta and Racy and Mom Vida, good morning to you. Atakofi, massive good morning to you, sir. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Well, on the Wednesday edition of the morning show, let's crack on. In other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world, notably in Ghana as well. Okay, we'll come in from the African front and then we'll come to Ghana as well. Voting is underway in Somalia's breakaway region and Somaliland. Thank you very much, Echoes family. Biafra. Thank you. I was looking at that. Biafra. Well, they said they are doing a declaration. They're going to be making a declaration there. Thank you. All right then. Okay. That on the 2nd of December. That is via Simon Ekpa, who is going to be making that declaration. But I'm asking the question, do you think by making a declaration that necessarily means that you have your freedom and you can go about doing everything that you have to do? Well, Ugandans have been detained for insulting some Ugandans have been detained for insulting President Museveni, the wife and the son. So they have to be arrested. They insulted him on TikTok. All right, interesting. But vacant seat case, the Supreme Court verdict and related politics in Ghana. Well, the opposition NDC are saying that they are not returning to Parliament until after the elections, because now they all have to embark on electoral campaign. So they are going, though the Supreme Court has ruled, so we don't know what is going to happen there. But they are the majority or the ruling government spokesperson or leader in Parliament has called for the opposition NDC to come to the chambers so that they can discuss issues and look at how to go about things. But well, they are saying that who form the majority? I mean, what's the definition of a majority? Those who have got the numbers, right? Okay, so let's see what's going to happen there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Of course, as I said, it is a Wednesday edition of the morning show, and therefore we move with the speed of light. Now, Donald Trump appoints Elon Musk to efficiency role and Fox News host as defense secretary. What is going to happen there? And then, still on the world front, it flew right into her room. Ukrainian girl killed by Russian drone as attacks surge. Well, as I've been saying, that I know for sure that the Russians will do their best to fight their best, do everything that they want to do before Trump resumes. Okay? Power. But what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? How can Europe also support them to do whatever things? But lots more going to be coming your way. As I did say, we're going to be having Mr. Olayomi Moiki joining us in the next few moments. Oil and gas are a gift of God, says COP29 hosts. Of course. I've been saying this time and over again. Now, listen, they've used this oil and gas to develop their economies, and they are now living their lives and doing everything that they need to do. Now, your small country, let's say Nigeria, which is big, let's say Ghana, which has also got oil, and some other countries who have not also now got oil that they can use, and we say, no, because of environmental pollution, and so we have to all stop it. Really? But the COP29 conference that they are having, how many of the big polluters are there? Is the US there? No. Is India there? No. Is China there? No. Is Russia there? Let me say no. Okay? So the big polluters, they are not there to say that, okay, let's do something. Because again, if we want to do that, let's say we introduce that in Africa. let's say in Nigeria or Ghana. Now Nigeria already suffering from NEPA issue. We have all the time we're having the national grid collapsing and stuff like that. Even if it's not collapsing, do we have the necessary infrastructure to be able to do so? Or are we just following because they are saying so? Somebody will say, well, look at the consequences of things that are happening. Is it the El Nino weather phenomenon that is causing it? Or is it because of the flood that we are seeing in Spain and all those things that is going on, and the drought that we see in part of Africa and everything that is going, as a Ghanaian man would say, busy, basa. Is that what is causing us to now sit up and say we all have to stop it when the big polluters are not stopping it? I bet you in your own corner, brighten the corner where you are. Just turn your lights on. Just do what you have to do. And let's see, better the lives of your people. Because if we are dead, we'll not be able to. Say we are enjoying a very nice weather. Are we? They have to leave first before we can do things. But well, that is my take on it. But maybe truly, we all have to do something about it. So let the big polluters come to the table. And if they come to the table, what are they offering the smaller countries that have now discovered oil in their countries where they're going to be using to also enhance their economy? What should they do? This and a lot more going to be coming your way. It is not coming away from Starr Radio UK. It is exactly 2 minutes past the top of the hour, and we should have Mr. Olayomi Moiki joining us any moment from now. But moving on, looking at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. NHS managers to be sacked in failing hospitals. That would be a tough one, because the system is such that some are saying, it's broken, we cannot do much about it. But they said it's going to be like the football league. So I think, how would they score each other? Well, I don't know the metrics, but the health secretary is saying he's putting everything together nicely to get the job done. So let's see. We'll give him the best of our support. When we have the privilege of having any of them, we'll interview them and we'll put it across to you as well. Now, Post Office could lose 115 branches with jobs at risks. That's one of the stories. The government to order review of rail fare prosecutions. Well, that's a good one there as well. Then the final story coming from here in the UK. Abuse survivor calls for further Church of England resignations. We know that the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is the head of the church, the senior person, because the head of the church itself is the king. But the issue is he has resigned. But do we think that goes far enough? What were the abuses that he was said to have some way, somehow be silent on? What do you think about all that? We're going to be telling you more about that. But now, I can tell you assuredly, I've got with me my colleague and co-presenter, Mr. Olayomi Moiki, this morning, where he's going to be bringing you updates from Nigeria. Let me see whether he can hear me. Hello, Yomi.
Yeah, good morning. I know you can hear me, but I'm not sure if you can see me.
No, I can't see you. All that I can see is the flyer of the 1914 amalgamation.
Yeah, I'm trying to see why we are not picking the signal. Bear with us in a minute.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can rectify the problem.
Okay. Listen,
let's see if I can rectify the problem as quickly as we can.
Yeah.
We do know sometimes with the tech.
Yeah, that's all technology, man.
Technicality. But let's see.
Yeah.
I think, I'm not sure if you can see me now.
So, no.
All right. I'll come back in a minute.
Okay. All right then. Listeners, just bear with us whilst Yomi try to do the setup for the broadcast or from his end there. So just bear with us whilst he does so. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as I did say earlier on, if Simon Ekpa says they're going to be declaring the independence for the Biafra people, what does it actually
mean there? On the 2nd of December, that's when that declaration is going to be taking place. But I can tell you that we can see Ms. Olayomi Moiki, who has joined in. And let me say, good morning to you, Yomi.
Well, a very good morning back to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, and a very lovely good morning to our listeners and viewers from around the world and our sister broadcast that has also connected to the transmission this morning.
Well, so every one of you who have tuned in this morning, we salute you and thank you very much for doing so, especially those of you in Nigeria. I do say it all the time that I know it costs you an arm and a leg, or those of you in Africa, but yet you continue to do so, making sure that you join us and bring your comments through as well. We are so grateful to you all. But now, let's now look at the stories. How are you doing, sir, in the first place?
Well, it's been a kind of a resting in the last couple of days. We should be on the road as usual, but sometimes I think we might likely want to take a bit of break and rest, especially the weather is changing, and that means, we want to make sure that we are fully MOT, to baffle the weather, even though some of us have lived there for over 2 decades. But, when the weather changes on us, we still have to quickly make sure that our MOT are all fully working in gear. Mm-hmm. And that means in the last 72 hours, that is exactly what I've been doing.
Yes, you need that rest, because I remember when I became ill a couple of weeks back, it wasn't a good thing at all. And the weather, it's all depending on the weather as well. When we walk around and you don't put your jackets on and stuff like that, then you have those issues. Well. Starr Radio UK. Now, before we come to the stories that you have put here, I was asking the question. Yesterday I did talk about it Monday as well. Simon Ekpa's declaration that is going to come the 2nd of December. They're going to declare independence for Biafra. How do you see it?
Well, how do I say it? It seems that, we are just almost on the same mind. I mean, we've sent a message to Simon. I've sent a message to him, just this morning. I didn't realize that, you were also going to be picking on that because we want to hear from him. And that means, he'll be telling us when his availability will be to come and talk to us on the Starr Radio, UK network. But how is it going to be is a question that is in the minds of not just Nigerians now, also the international community that are monitoring, quite a lot of activities in Nigeria. And I can tell you that yesterday, I had the privilege to listen carefully for over 3 hours more when Simon Ekpa was being interviewed and, discussing, what expectations should be, will be coming up, in terms of, their declaration that is coming up in the next couple of minutes. It's a long one, but let's pick just a little bit out of it, from what Simon Ekpa, was saying yesterday regarding, what a lot of us should be expecting, in December 2nd, which is just a countdown from now. Let's see if we can hear from him.
In cold blood. Nobody asked question. Nobody, was held responsible until today. They went to Mazen Amicano's house, bombed everywhere, killed people there. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was held accountable. They went to Mpo and killed, and these people they are killing never raised a gun against them, right? They were only having flag. They killed in Enugu. They killed in Ebonyi. So when Mazen Amicano was kidnapped, they went to Kenya to kidnap him against international law, and I took over from there. And you know what I said in the first place? I said, under my leadership in this Biafra movement, you can never kill Biafra again and go free in Biafra land. So I raised an army called Biafra Liberation Army to confront these killers. And these killers, some of them are repentant Boko Haram. So they recruit them, push them to Biafra land, and people are not talking about that. And when they go to villages, they open RPG or GPMG and they start spraying bullets. Even farms are getting killed. So I said, under my leadership, under this Biafra movement, Nigeria can never kill any Biafra again and live to tell this story. So we raised the Biafra Liberation Army to deal with them, and they are neutralizing them. So when they neutralize them, what do? They will come after the villagers. And let me tell you, is that the kind of country you want to be proud of? where you have people carrying gun defending their land, and instead of them to go after those people that are defending the land, they will go against innocent people.
Well, that is more out of so many of what Simon was saying yesterday, but because I've listened to it, Simon, and his team, government and the exile and the de facto government, will be holding what we call a convention on the 2nd of December in Finland. A lot of representatives will be traveling from different parts of the world, and it seems that, we are now on the countdown to that. Also, as Simon is saying that we know that the president has returned back yesterday from his trip to Saudi Arabia, and I can tell you that was also is part of what people are discussing right now, because the president says that the Nigeria federal government stand on a two-state solution to the current state of things when it comes to the Palestinian and the Israel issue. And I just quickly want to read what the president is saying, because these are part of the argument that the president can travel to Riyadh, as we heard from the vice president, while we are getting the what the president said. This is exactly what the vice president himself said yesterday. I mean, this was during the United Nations security United Nations conference that took place in September in New York. This is what the vice president said, as at the time when he was presenting the Nigerian case on the issue of Palestinian.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other.
We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7 August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region.
They offer a prospect for a new beginning, exactly what President Bola Tinubu was saying as well in Riyadh. In rules based on international order, states have the right of self-defense, but self-defense must take proportionality into account in line with global legal, diplomatic, and moral frameworks. Today in Riyadh, which was 2 days ago now, I addressed the fellow world leaders on issues surrounding the prolonged Israel-Palestinian conflict. I reiterate Nigerian historical support for its two-state solution, which is a vision grounded in the principle of equality and mutual recognition. I also call upon the world leaders to work towards exploring new paths to peace and bringing an immediate end to this conflict. Whether there will be conflict in Nigeria, that the world will now be also telling President Bola Tinubu we're just on a countdown to December 2nd.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio. It's quite an interesting submission by the president. And I picked something from his statement, and I'm going to use that to introduce the next listen. He was saying that, he said, freedom cannot be denied any people. Freedom cannot be denied any people. So can freedom be denied the people of Biafra? What about the Yoruba? What about those in the Middle Belt who think, no, we think we are being marginalized? And what about the Arawa people, those in the North who think, no, we think that the amalgamation and everything that has gone on is, out. We just forget it and let's move on with our lives. Because the ex-governor, Aregbesola, has warned of a possible revolution in Nigeria. Now, I saw that story and I'm like, we have the military high command that has promised government that, look, we are not going to involve ourselves in any coup or anything or uprising or anything of the sort. So where is this revolution that he's talking about or is envisaging going to come from, Yomi?
Well, the first thing is, who is Aregbe Shola? Aregbe Shola is also a Yoruba man that was a former governor of Osun State, and the question is, each time, they exit that office, it seems that common sense comes back to their brain, just like, we had Jonathan telling us that, the unity of Nigeria is only fostered by the British government. So Aregbe Shola is also speaking. This was actually on Sunday when he was having an engagement, and this is exactly, what Aregbe Shola told us. Trying to see if we can bring his background in quickly as well. Just bear with us in just about a few minutes. I think that should come up. Yeah, that is Aregbe Shola behind me on the screen there. And Aregbe Shola says that it seems that the war might be getting closer. Exactly what Sowore was saying just about 2 days ago when he was interviewed. I'll see if I can get the sound clip of that. But what the ex-governor, Aregbe Shola, is now warning of a possible revolution in Nigeria. And it goes like this: whatever does not give appropriate opportunity or rights to the people will be resisted no matter what you do. If other things failed, people can revolt. If we are conscious of all these and understanding the consequences of things getting out of hand, we will be interested in finding the best way to govern ourselves. This is the former governor of Osun State, Raofu Aregbe Shola, that has raised the alarm over what is discussed as a worsened economic, political, and spiritual condition in Nigeria. He stated that if I left unaddressed, this condition could lead to war, and it seems that that is the message that many people are discussing. And let's go to Omoyele Sowore, that was also interviewed on a podcast that has went viral. Omoyele Sowore also stated clearly that as things goes right now, the Igbos or the Biafra have actually exited Nigeria, and it's not just talking about the Biafra alone. He says, and I quote, that as much as anyone that leaves Nigeria is already exiting the country at whatever you might think of. But as we all know, Sowore, one of the AAC presidential aspirant, a revolutionary, and also, an activist, was speaking, during this interview that he held, and it seems that, we can pick some of what he says, but the part that he said is, there is a secret memo in the government that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbos. Don't give them the position. Don't give them the opportunities. I am not the one quoting these. This is exactly what Omoyele Sowore himself is saying, and I think we have a sound clip to that so that we can add that to the conversation this morning. Once again, if you've just joined us, I know it's a very tight Wednesday edition of the morning show. We hope to have the Prime Minister, Government in Exile of the Biafra, joining us very soon. He'll be telling us exactly when his availability will be so that we can be able to take through what we should be expecting and how these declarations will go about. But this is exactly what Sowore had to say.
Nigeria has an Igbo problem. There is a secret memo in government that whenever we want to take charge in this country, be careful of the Igbo. Don't give them position. Don't give them opportunity. Otherwise, they will over. For an Igbo man to survive in Nigeria, as it is currently put together, Nigeria must break.
Wait, the meeting you had with Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
You are telling us now that Nnamdi Kanu.
Don't you know what happened? The pogrom in this country, where people were slaughtered and their bodies and their heads placed inside the train going down south. Even our parents.
Wow.
Tell us, Igbo, in 2024, detaining Nnamdi Kanu against all the court orders, against all the court rulings.
Well, I come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie. It looks like Nigeria is going through a very rough time, and if care is not taken, a lot might happen in the next couple of weeks and months and years ahead.
Well, there's lots that we want to talk about, but we have to just move on because God willing, tomorrow or the day after, we will try to look at those baits because we are looking at what are the push factors, what is making people think that I'm being marginalized, when people are desperate Well, when I talk about desperation, well, the CBN is saying that households should expressing pessimism, and they should expect further rise in cost of living. So as if they've killed you is not enough, now they want to just splash your head and finish you together completely. Yomi, what else? What expectations should we have now?
Well, you're quite right. As inflation is biting, money is becoming very difficult. Nigerians are now owing a lot of debt, to the international community that has gone up to $3.5 billion. There's nothing wrong if you're borrowing, but if that money is not being stolen and used for all kind of different reasons as well. So this morning, inflation, household expresses pessimism. Expect further rise in cost of living. This morning, I have to rescue someone that has now been stuck because they can't get to the hospital. We can't continue like this. That means that, many Nigerians are falling into the trap of poverty, but they're also falling into the trap of medical care. According to the Central Bank of Nigeria, is now warning many Nigerians and consumers believe that the cost of transportation, house purchases, purchase of car vehicles, rent, and medical expenses that I have to rescue someone this morning will experience increase over the next 6 months, not just 1 month. So Nigerians should beef up for the next 6 months if anything is going to get better. This is coming from, the survey by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Consumers says that they will spend their income on the basic items such as food, other household items, education, transportation, electricity, and medical expenses. The CBN Overall Consumer Confidence Index outlook is attributed to the outlook of consumers on 3 key dimensions: economic condition, family financial situation, and the family income. Remember that many governors are still not able to pay the 70,000 minimum wage, even though the 30,000, many workers are still being whole like 3 months in advance.
Well, do you think what is happening is a good thing for the country at all? And do you think that is pushing other people to say, no, we're not going to sit down, as we've been saying in Ghana? Let me say good morning to Bishop Adeshina. My Bishop, I hope you are doing very, very well. Thank you very much for joining in as well. Now, let's now look at the depth of the country, because we are looking at cost of living that is going on. But every Nigerian owes 619,501 naira as national debt rises. As we've been saying, loans, going for loans or borrowing, there's nothing wrong with that. But what we use it for, as whether it is impacting the life of the majority of the people, or we are using it for our own parochial interests or our own personal economy, that's another thing. But before I come to you, Bishop Adesina says, I have already said it. From December and January, there will be chronic financial and food crisis in Nigeria. Just summing up what I'm saying. Yomi.
Well, many analyses like Bishop have already, spoken, in different fora and in different, discussion that the situation is going to get worse. The bag of rice is going up, as many Nigerians cannot even afford to eat rice today. But it's not just the rice that we're talking about. We're not talking about the debt. When this information came out and, we posted it out, the response of some of the Nigerians is that, why should I be asked to repay what I have not benefited from? But the government might say that, they took out this loan, to be able to do things, in the infrastructure system, in the security, in the electricity. But the average Nigerians today are complaining that some of these, infrastructures are not adequate enough, to fulfill, their lifestyle that they would love to have. So the headline coming out this morning is again not a very good one from Nigeria, the most African, top notch, as we told, the black African nations and all kind of different things. But it looks like Nigeria is going through a lot of troubles. The federal government international debt servicing gulps $3.5 billion in 9 months. Again, this is coming from the Central Bank of Nigeria under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Finance Minister, Mr. Wale Edun that is just behind me, in that particular camera right there. So what do we know? The highest monthly debt servicing payment in 2024 literally took place about 2-3 months ago in May, amounting to almost $854.37 million. This is the highest monthly expenditure. Even in 2023, it was only $641.70 million that was recorded in July. The federal government has now spent $3.58 billion servicing the country's foreign debt in the first 9 months of 2024. According to the data source of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN report on international payment statistics show that the amount represents about 39.79% increase from the 2.56 billion spent the same period in 2023. According to the report, while the highest monthly debt servicing was occurred in May, the trend in international debt servicing by the CBN is rising cost of debt obligation. What is causing the debt and why are we having to be in debt? First, we got to remember that Nigeria is not a productivity country. Mostly everything that we use, we consume, is being imported into the country, and that is creating a lot of resources that we need to continue to borrow the money. From information that is reaching my desk, it looks like I'm not sure whether President Bola Tinubu was able to acquire a $5 billion debt from the Saudi Arabians. Maybe that is the reason why he has to go in line with whatever the Arab countries want.
Well, that's why I was saying I was going to ask you the next question. That I thought the president went to get a $5 billion this in loan from Saudi. So how is that going to be panning out for them? I mean, is that going to be reducing the cost of living, or what are they using it for per se? Yomi.
Well, like I said, the presidency hasn't released any statement. The president returned back late last night from his trip. $5 billion is a lot of money, but we do know that as things goes right now, there is no communique whether that has been approved or not. But even if that is approved, it would then add more to the debt that Nigeria owe, and whether that would kickstart an economy this morning, because we know that the dollar this morning is also going into the AWOL this morning. And according to the report coming to our desk this morning on the Star Radio again this morning, that the dollar has gone a little bit more than they expected. That means, again, the need for dollar is coming up, but we are not having enough in terms of our production, to stop, our need of the dollar. So the naira may depreciate to 1,993 naira against the dollar. Nigeria's naira has been projected to depreciate further to 1,993 per dollar in the coming days. As we speak right now, it's just about 1,650. So within the next couple of days, it might push to 2,000. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie, at exactly 11:28 this morning on the Star Radio UK. Please share the program and invite others to join us as well on a Monday to Friday when we kickstart the morning show.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios. I'm actually here in the South studios, and we are bringing you updates from Nigeria. Okay, now let's move on. I thought that after the hashtag, that demonstration that took place back in the day, the police treatment of Nigerians would have stopped. But it looks like policemen in Nigeria's capital reportedly shoot man 21 who tried escaping extortion from them. Yomi, tell us more.
Well, the worst institution in Nigeria is the police, and we saw how that was reported after the EndSARS, right here in the UK, Member of Parliament, when the EndSARS issues took place and many Nigerians were killed, by the current government then, who was Buhari, and also the Lagos State governor that should be held accountable for the death because it happened in Lagos. It was just not in Lagos. Oyigbo was also happening in the southeast where many innocent, Igbos were killed. But this morning, another bad headline coming out of Nigeria. Over 1,500 Nigerians were killed alone in October. I mean, you wonder whether when people say we are not at war, I always say Nigeria is a war zone, because the amount of things that is happening in Nigeria is exactly what many other war zones are experiencing today. If 1,500 Nigerians were killed in October, alone in an 861 incident of kidnapping, attacks, and report. And I can tell you that the new terrorist organization that is known as Lukarawas is now trying to send delegation to meet another terrorist called Bello Tuji, another terrorist, so that they can work together. Also, they've recruited about over 500 innocent Nigerians, whether each one of them were paid the 1 million as they were told, because according to the terrorist group, they were ready to pay anyone to join them for ₦1 million. The question is Nigeria going to be Islamized, or are we just going through a difficult time like any other countries around the world, and we will scale through all these? Will the government of President Bola Tinubu be able to curtail all these? The October 2024 Nigerian Security Report of Organization highlights a very deteriorating security condition with about 51% rise in fatalities and 24.42% increase in adoptions. At least 1,545 persons have been killed and 971 others adopted across the country. Let's listen. Is in Yoruba, but I'll try to see if I can, give it to us in a translation. This happened just about a few days ago as well, which will be added to what we're discussing this morning.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Okay.
Our for Yoruba nation, our for Yoruba nation, our for Yoruba nation. We kò ní ṣàìsọ kí ẹgbẹ́ máa tẹ́tí lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kí ọ̀gbá máa fi èsì ilẹ̀ ìjọ́kò tó jọ tí bàbá bí alákọ̀ọ́rí ọmọ tó sì sọ ní ìtìjú nù náà ń kọ́ ṣebí ọmọ ilé wọn ní ṣe ní ìyànà tí ń gbẹ ní ìjàyè gbáǹkọ́ ṣebí tí Ọ̀yọ́ là ń wí. Ẹjọ́ fọ́nrán tí mo fẹ́ sẹ́ni sí yìí on the 5th oṣù kọkànlá yìí November.
So first and foremost, the video is saying, just so that we can get it quickly, that the video that is sending to us took place on the 1st of November. Lying on the floor is a young man that has been killed by the Fulani terrorists. Let's listen further.
Àwọn kan mọ́tò kan ń bọ̀ ní Ọ̀sẹ̀ local government. Mọ́tò yẹn wá break ní Ọ̀sẹ̀ local government.
A vehicle is coming from a particular local government. The vehicle breaks down, just to narrate it quickly because of our time constraint this morning. We know that these individuals were kidnapped. The family were consulted by the terrorists and the family. They negotiated a particular amount of money. The money was still being looked for when the brother was shot. 3 others were released, but this particular person died. I can also confirm from a diaspora here in UK that their family member, we've not been told to give the exact location, was kidnapped. Negotiation is going on as we speak right now. When the person is finally released, we might be able to have him to speak to us on the Star Radio UK network.
Well, is it safe to be in that country? Do we pull out? What do you think about all that? Olakunle, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us as well. We will go back to Yomi for him to bring you all the other stories that is making the rounds, and then what is happening on the social media this morning as well. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. As we were telling us last week, the death of Lagbaja, and that means that in the next couple of days, which is tomorrow, it will be finally, be laid to rest. There will be, a wake keep that will happen, according to the press statement released by the military yesterday, that Lagbaja will be buried this week, and we continue to pray for the family and the loved ones, and those that knows him, especially from where he hailed from in Osun State. According to the information that has been released by the military, the obituary of Lagbaja goes like this. Tarid Lagbaja, as we know, was announced dead last week, Tuesday, by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. A lot of question is still surrounding his death, but we want to focus on the death itself because, when we die, that means we will have to go through the final burial rites. So according to the Nigerian military, Tarid Abiodun Lagbaja, a lieutenant general, the chief of army staff, the 23rd, chief of army staff died on November 5th. The funeral arrangement Thursday, where there will be the army headquarters, garrison parade ground, Mogadishu, Cantonment, Abuja, and on a Friday there will be the funeral service. So that is on that, and then we come back quickly because of my time this morning with you, Mr. Archie. I know we should have been, yesterday and day before yesterday, but we hope to catch up again tomorrow. Okonjo-Iweala, the WTO to convene a special meeting for the selection of the next DG. The incumbent Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was the only candidate who indicated an interest in the role as of 8th of November nomination deadline. Maybe he might be the same person coming back, as we know that he has been in charge of that particular, World Trade Organization. There was a bit of altercation between himself and the Biafra when, a message was circulating that Okonjo-Iweala actually signed a loan to the Biafra. That was denied by him. And Simon Ekpa was shocked, because he says he was waiting because a lot of atrocities happening in Nigeria. He never talked about it, but he was quick to come and talk about, he's not giving any loan, to the Biafra government. Let's come back to the social media, what is trending at exactly 11, and let's see what many Nigerians are saying under that particular post of Tinubu. This one says Tinubu is a core example of, I will not put the rest out because it's not the right word to put on the screen on this particular network. He's greatly doing the job of the errand sent by him. That is all I can say from there. According to the next one, says, I will handle the economy while you handle security. Little did the country know that they were entering one chance. Many people would know what chance is. One chance is, you might be told that, there's a mobile phone and you end up going with an empty box. That happened as well in UK and likewise across the different part of the world, especially for those that want something for nothing. So we remember that Tinubu was saying that he would handle the security, and I was able to come across a particular clip of him in 2023 during the campaign trail, and let's see if I can bring that in, if I can still have it here. When Tinubu was during the campaign trail, there was a lot of what Tinubu was saying then, but as we know, as usual, they are easy to say, but when they get there is a different thing entirely. So let's see if we can hear what Tinubu was saying just as they were campaigning in the 2023 led to the election then. Let's hear a little bit from Tinubu right on the screen.
It's about thinking. It's about praying. I always tell him, no matter how short a man is, he will still see the sky. But he's still showing the sky. And he's making the progress.
Well, I'm not sure whether there's a progress because the condition in Nigeria is getting very tough. Let's go to two more comments, and I'll come back again to you, Mr. Archie. This individual on the X handle Sako4363, why you should start addressing the mass killing of Nigerians at home. Charity, they say, begin at home. But you, sir, have shown a nonchalant attitude in addressing the issues that threaten our sovereignty, from the insecurity to the mass hunger and poverty, lack of access to many things. According to Bad Lieutenant, says, Tinubu, you have failed as a leader. Since you took office over a year, half price in Nigeria have shot up. Mod house, I believe is what he wants to say. House prices have shot up for about 400%. From the food to the petrol, everything else, the Naira has dropped to 1,800. Well, it might be going to 2,000, according to the report. And the last one says, Fulani are forming a new terrorist group, and these, among many others, ills don't worth addressing. That's coming from Spoiled Kid. And that's how far we can go from here, Mr. Archie. University of Ibadan is trending, and the reason for that is 17 days, no water and no electricity at one of the most prestigious institution during the regional government of the late legend Obafemi Awolowo. 17 days, people have been buying pure water, and some have been using candles and all kind that is not of a good safety. But imagine here in the UK, 17 days, no water, no electricity. That hospital itself would completely have to decongest everything inside, because you can imagine the food and everything that will be used. It shows that Nigeria is going through a very rough time. And as people are saying, let's divide it so that we can manage it. Some say that is not the best option. Let's stick together and form how we can bring it better.
Well, can it be made better? That is the question on the lips of most people as well. But this is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Comfort Olugunja says that was where a first-class Oba was killed by Fulani, that is Olofun, in Ondo State. Now, this new terrorist group that seems to have been formed, where they are going to be having discussions or whatever, they are saying they come from whether Niger or whichever bit. But Yomi, before we go, how dangerous are they?
Well, every terrorist organization are dangerous, and let me take you back to 2005 in London, the London bombing. We saw that the last person, the fourth bombers, even as the network was shut down, left out of the train station, came up onto the bus, and it was still able to explode the device. That means that terrorists have the same ideology to kill, maim, and kill as many innocent people. The new one that has now been brought into the country that the military told us last week have already taken many lives so far. I mean, I'm talking about over 15 people have been killed. They are recruiting more, and they're also trying to negotiate with the other one that is called Kingpin Bello Tuji as the leader of the new terrorist group. Lakurua have sent delegation to him.
Wow.
And all this is happening in Nigeria.
As we say on this platform, may Nigeria not happen to you. It's been a long time since I said that, but today let me reiterate that once again. Well. Yomi, before you go.
Well, it is the Star Radio UK. The only way you can pick the news, like I said, we're in touch with the PM, the Prime Minister, Government in Exile of the Biafra. We hope to have him on our network, hopefully very soon to discuss with us. We're also trying to bring in Showole to come and speak to us. All this will be happening very soon. And hopefully in the new year, we might be returning back, very tough with a new brand of Niger Diaspora or Niger Voices, where we decide how that is going. But for now, on a Monday to Friday, you'll catch me up when we come up with the news from Nigeria and the Nigerian diaspora. Most importantly, as the Yoruba campaign continue, Igbo will continue to say, without a Yoruba nation, nothing can happen. But Bakitoye said the same thing. And as we all know, things are falling apart on a daily basis in Nigeria.
Yomi, thank you very much. Have a lovely day. We'll catch up later.
Bye for now, Mr. Archie.
Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that has been Mr. Olayomi Moiki for you on this wonderful day. And thank you very much to every one of you who's tuned in this morning to actually listen to us. There's been quite a mind-boggling story that's coming from that part of the world. But what do you think? Is there going to be a revolution in Nigeria? Somebody say, well, the military are the ones who, when they get involved, brings about a revolution, a proper one. But they are saying, we're staying out of it. We don't want to do anything. We promise, we pledge to the government that we will not do anything, undertake or lead anything of the sort. But with everything that is going on, with the terrorists, the menace of terrorism going on, with the Fulani headsmen and everything, and a new terrorist group from there as well, what hope have Nigerians got, or what hope has Africa got? Mr. Vadeshina, thank you once again. It says kudos to us all, and kudos to you who have tuned in this morning to listen to us. Star Radio UK. Yeah, we got about another 60 minutes to bring the whole program to a close because we have to go to the Prime Minister's question time. So I'm going to be speeding like as fast as as light. All right. So let's quickly go to the African front. Let me see what's one of the top stories making the rounds there. This Sunday, Senegalese voters head to the polls to elect a new National Assembly, a pivotal moment following the dissolution of the previous parliament by new President Bassirou Diomaye Faye in September, as the stakes rise for Osman Sonko's Pastef party. Tensions have escalated with incidents of violence and accusations of dominating the pre-election period. Prime Minister Sonko urged his supporters to avenge alleged attacks attributed to the supporters by his rival Barthélemy Diaz, mayor of Dakar. The opposition condemned his statement as an incitement to murder. The passive party aims for a parliamentary majority to support the reforms proposed by President Faye and Sonko, but the violent clashes at campaign events had raised concerns. In response, President Faye recently called on all political actors to exercise restraint, seeking to calm an already charged atmosphere as the country prepares for the crucial election. It's just election. It's just electing people to represent you. So please, let cool heads prevail. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now in Ghana, the Ghana Supreme Court delivered a pivotal ruling on Tuesday declaring the Speaker of Parliament's decision to declare 4 parliamentary seats vacant was unconstitutional. The ruling restores the New Patriotic Party's majority in the legislature just weeks before December 7 election. The case was brought to the Apex Court by Alexander Fenyamakin, the leader of the MPP caucus in Parliament, who sought to overturn Speaker Alban Gbagbe's ruling. Gbagbe had previously stated that 2 MPP lawmakers and 1 from the National Democratic Congress had lost their seats after registering as independent candidates for the upcoming election. Additionally, another lawmaker aligned with the MPP registered to contest as an MPP candidate. Gbagbe's initial decision shifted the parliament's majority to the NDC, giving them 136 seats to the MPP's 135. This led to indefinite postponement of 2 key parliamentary sessions, delaying essential legislative work, including the approval of provisional 2025 budget and the confirmation of Supreme Court nomination. In a televised address, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu announced the court decision, which was made by a 5-2 majority. The detailed reasoning for the ruling will be published later today. Now, Fenyamakin welcomed the verdict, emphasizing that it will enable Parliament to resume normal operations. Among the key matters expected to proceed is the approval of $250 million loan from the World Bank aimed at strengthening Ghana's financial sector and providing tax relief to businesses. Which businesses are we talking about there? That has been the question on the lips of most people. The Speaker's office has yet to respond to the request for comment regarding the decision. As the election approaches, opinion polls suggest that the NDC John Mahama is likely to face off against NPP Vice President Muhammadu Bawumia in what is expected to be a fiercely contested race. However, Mahama has said the president candidate of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, has called on Ghanaians to vote overwhelmingly for the NDC in the upcoming election to secure a decisive victory. He urged supporters to turn out in large numbers to ensure a resounding win for the party. Highlighting the importance of a strong mandate to bring about the change they seek for the nation, Mahama emphasized the need for vigilance at every stage of the electoral process to safeguard the integrity of the vote. He stated that all Ghanaians, especially NDC supporters, must remain alert and play an active role in protecting their ballots from any potential interference. This, he suggested, is crucial to achieving a fair and accurate outcome. But what do you think about all that? It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So, one other story from Ghana as well. 4 civil society organizations, including the Center for Conflict Resolution, CENCOR, have criticized the Electoral Commission for denying them accreditation to be election observers. The group says the participation of civil society organizations in the election through the deployment of Electoral Commission accredited election observers, both domestic and international, has always been a critical tool for assuaging the anxieties of members of the political parties to resort to violence because of a loss of confidence in the credibility of the elections. It is therefore rather surprising and worrying that the EC chairperson, Mrs. Jane Mensah, has resorted to an arbitrary and dictatorial denial of accreditation to several domestic CSOs that have applied to the EC for accreditation to deploy election observers to polling stations during the December 2024 election. Addressing a press conference in Accra on Tuesday, November 2, convener of the Civil Society Coalition, Adib Sani, said, "We vehemently decry the singular arbitrary act by Mrs. Jane Mensah, someone who was propelled by her civil society credentials as a major fault line that seeks to undermine the credibility of the 2024 election. It is indeed a grievous affront to the democracy. It has taken all of us so much effort to build." Mrs. Jane Mensah unjustified denial of accreditation to the CSOs is not only a breach of the right of organizations to participate and contribute to ensuring the free, fair, and credible electoral process that the EC professes to espouse, but also raises critical questions about the EC's commitment to an open and democratic election process. So, what do you think should be done? Do you think that they need to accord these entities or bodies the chance or the license or the listen to be part of the monitoring team there? Do you think that will help at all? Well, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK, we got to leave it there and move on quickly because our time is far gone. Let me touch on a couple of stories from other parts of the world and then we come to you. The president of COP29 host country has told the UN climate conference that oil and gas are a gift of God. Azerbaijan's president Ilham Aliyev criticized Western fake news about the country's emission and said nations should not be blamed for having fossil fuel reserves. The country plans to expand gas production by a third over the next decade. Now, shortly afterwards, the UN Chief Antonio Guterres told the conference that doubling down on the use of fossil fuel was absurd. He said the clean energy revolution had arrived and that no government could stop it. Separately, UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer pledged further reductions on emissions, saying the UK will now aim for an 81% decrease by 2035. The UK called for other countries to match their new target. Now, make no mistake, the race is on for the clean energy jobs of the future, the economy of tomorrow. And I don't want to be in the middle of the pack. I want to get ahead of the game, Sir Keir Starmer told the conference. But, ladies and gentlemen, developing countries, where now we are sort of gifted, we have got maybe crude oil or gas that we're going to be flaring and be using to actually advance our economical fortunes and stuff like that. And they say, no, we got to stop it. Now, what do you think can be done about it all? Ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK at 6 minutes to the end of the program. Now, U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has appointed Elon Musk to jointly lead a new Department of Government Efficiency. Musk will lead the body with Republican Vivek Ramaswamy. It is essentially an adversary role, writes correspondent David Willis. Now, Trump says the body will dismantle government bureaucracy and could be the Manhattan Project of our time, a reference to the top secret effort to develop nuclear weapons during World War II. Now, Trump has also picked Pete Hegseth, a Fox News host and Army veteran, to be Defense Secretary. Meanwhile, John Ratcliffe is appointed Director of the CIA and Kristi Noem will lead the Department of Homeland Security. And Republicans are closing in on majority of the House of Representatives. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just come in. Donald Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump, has posted a behind-the-scene vlog of election night on her YouTube channel. The 10-minute video starts by showing the 17-year-old in her house getting her hair and makeup done. We're going to Mar-a-Lago zone in like 30 minutes. I'm going to see my grandpa and spend time with him, she says. The camera then follows her to Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump's residence, which is filled with family members such as her uncle Baron Trump, father Donald Trump Jr., and Donald Trump himself, looking at several TV screens showing the election results. The family then gathers for a photo, and Donald Trump asks Elon Musk to join in. You have to get Elon with his boy, he says. The video later shows Kyle Trump sitting in a car and recapping her grandfather's victory a few days later. I'm extremely proud of him, she says. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK. What has the Trump administration have in hold for the whole world? Let me put it that way. One of the saddest stories that have happened, Sarah Shari's father has accepted full responsibility for her death, a court has heard. The 10-year-old father, Irfan Shari, 42, stepmother Binash Batu, 30, and uncle Faisal Malik, 29, had denied murder after Sarah's body was found with dozens of injuries at the family home in Woking, Surrey last year. Now, under cross-examination at the Old Bailey, Mrs. Shari said, she died because of me. The court previously heard that Sarah was hooded, burned, and beaten during more than 2 years of abuse. Nigerians were previously told Mrs. Shari's case was that Ms. Batu was responsible for Sarah's death, and he made a false confession in the phone call and also in a note to protect his wife. But on Wednesday, as the court day was getting underway, Mr. Sheriff unexpectedly said, I admit what I said in my phone call and my written note, every single word. In response to questioning from Ms. Batu's barrister, Caroline Cadbury, Casey, Mr. Sheriff suddenly said, I want to say something. Do you accept that you have been beating Sarah severely over a number of weeks? Cadbury Casey asked. Yes, he said. On the night of the 6th of August, you badly beat Sarah? Cadbury Casey added. Yes, he said. Mr. Sheriff also told the court that he caused fractures to Sarah and used a cricket bat and a metal pole. At this stage, Miss Batu, who had been sobbing loudly, left the court and the hearing was suspended. A postmortem examination found Sarah had suffered dozens of injuries, including probable human bite marks, an iron burn, and scalding from hot water before she died on the 8th of August 2023. And that is one hell of a death for a child to have gone through. And they put on all that thing. Berka, that they just put it on. And I'm thinking that those things, when it comes to the kids, they need to stop them until they get to a point where they are in, let's say, going to sixth form or going to universities where they are able to articulate or speak for themselves, so that if there's any abuse of the sort happening, we can see that. It makes it quite difficult. I know for religious, those who are religious or who are looking at that, but I am of the view that with such abuses going on, where if the social workers or the school authorities could see that thing, I don't think the child would have died now. Why were they covering her with all this? Because they didn't want people to see. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Star Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Before I sign up, survivors are calling for further resignation after the Archbishop of Canterbury announced he will step down from his role following a damning report into prolific child abuse associated with the church. Now, Justin Welby is quitting after a review found he could and should have reported John Smith's abuse of boys and young men to police in 2013. Now, there are now increasing calls for more senior members of the church to face questions about what they knew about the abuse. The church deputy lead bishop for safeguarding, Julie Conalty, said very possibly other people should go, and said in some way the church was not a safe institution. An independent review published last week found Mr. Welby, the most senior bishop within the Church of England, and other church officers should have formally reported Smiths in 2013 to police in the UK and authorities in South Africa. Now, Smith was accused of attacking dozens of boys, including those he met at Christian camps in the UK in 1970s and 80s. The report found inaction from the church was a missed opportunity to bring Smith to justice before his 2018 death. Mrs. Conalty, the Bishop of Birkenhead, said she could not guarantee there is no abuse still going on in the church, adding no institution can ever be totally safe. We still have the institutional problem where we are not putting victims and survivors at the center, she said. Meanwhile, Bishop of Newcastle, Dr. Helen Ann Hartley, said progress in changing the safeguarding culture of the church was being undermined by the arrogance of a few. Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell, the second most high figure in the Church of England after Mr. Welby, said, we now know that some people pretty systematically covered this up, and those people need to be brought to account. Well, quite an interesting one there. That brings the time straight to 2 minutes past the top of the hour. And let me say it this way. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you. I hope you've had a very good time on this show today. I'm doing something so today I'm not playing any music, right? Okay, so let me say thank you very much for tuning in. Tomorrow dawn, we're going to be bringing you the prayer time with Reverend Michael Esiama. Command your morning. Okay, the power hour. So make sure your dials are logged on. But on that note, let me say thank you very much for joining us. God bless you. See you all tomorrow. And bye-bye for now.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Thanks for listening.